Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. It's all because the Bears did win yesterday. 47-42 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Victory Monday for Will. Congrats to producer Will, who braved the live game in the stadium. He was going to be miserable or very excited coming in here. It's 47-42. Somehow, the Cincinnati Bengals managed to play a Big 12 game from 10 years ago every single week where there's no defense. They turned the Jets into a Big 12 offense. They turned the Bears into a Big 12 offense. They turned the Steelers into a Big 12 offense. They don't care. So the Bears moved to 5-3 with the win. Bengals fall to 3-6, and it was a wild one. Where do you
Insane.
even start with this?
Yeah, utterly crazy. I mean, remember we were like a couple of weeks removed from being like Dennis Allen's Bears defense showed up and absolutely murdered Spencer Rattler. And the question was that just a revenge week for Dennis Allen, or, is the Bears defense actually going to show up and be a real force? I mean, they got absolutely blowtorched by 40-plus-year-old Joe Flacco with a bump shoulder, rocks up and throws for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like, I don't understand what kind of black magic Joe Flacco's got cooking this season since getting traded to Cincinnati, but I'm giving up predicting it. I mean, it's just, okay, apparently Joe Flacco is now just the greatest quarterback in the NFL. And I don't understand it, but I'm giving up questioning it. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, I mean, apparently just putting the ball in the air is all you need to do. Just throw it up there, let them go make a play. Like, that one play, multiple plays actually in this game. T. Higgins was nuts in this game. One play down the sideline where Nahshon Wright just kind of runs off the field and T. Higgins just catches the ball and runs in. That was pretty impressive. The other one, though, where was it Brisker? He goes up, catches the ball at the high point, and Brisker is like all over him and like ripping at his arms to take the ball away. You're like, there's no way he's coming down with that. And the ball never even moves in his hands. Like, the hand strength to maintain through that level of contact and come up with the football was absolutely crazy. Both those guys had over 100 yards. Just unbelievable output for an old quarterback with a busted shoulder.
But Higgins and Chase are so good. The other 2-yard touchdown by Higgins, too, which I don't know what it was ruled originally, but they called it a touchdown. Not the body control that Higgins has, like on that Nahshon Wright touchdown, body control plus hands. The hands that you mentioned against Brisker, the 2-yard touchdown to be able to like catch it and just barely get the ball over the pylon. Remember was it against the Vikings a couple years ago on the Saturday game where Higgins caught it and then just took the ball and extended it over the goal line for the touchdown? I mean, there's so much very George Pickens-like to Higgins. Mm-hmm. Body control plus hand strength plus just overall feel for getting the ball where it needs to go for a touchdown. It's unbelievable. So that's all a factor in Joe Flacco throwing for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. This game looked like it was over, right, Will?
Should have been over.
Looked like it was over when Tremaine Edmonds picks it off.
Diving interception.
In the red zone.
Breaks in front of a guy. And this was the first, the remarkable thing about Joe Flacco so far this season had been how little he put the ball in harm's way and, had been incredibly clean in terms of that. This was the first one where you're like, that's a bad play. They're down, they're throwing the ball, they're trying to come back, and he just, Tremaine Edmonds reads it really well, jumps the route, but that's a ball that he wants back.
And so Tremaine Edmonds picks it off. Would it have gone for a touchdown?
Yeah.
Pick six?
He picked six. He housed it. It looked like he picked six. End of the game.
95-yard interception return for a touchdown. Would have put the Bears up 3 scores. However, down by contact.
Yeah. On the way to the ground, having dived in front of the guy, he was brushed on the way down, so he's down by contact.
So Cincinnati still has life. And then they had a 2-play 56-yard touchdown drive, a 4-play 55-yard touchdown drive. The defense in the fourth quarter, again, this was like Big 12, 10 to 15 years ago, Mahomes versus Mayfield, old school Texas Tech. Nobody's playing defense. It looks like the defense is playing with 10 players on the field, coverage busts left and right. Like that's what it feels like every week for the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way. But it's 41-27, and the Bengals do the thing that the Jets did to them last week. You're down 14, Cincinnati, score a touchdown, you go for 2 and get it to make it a 6-point game. And it's like, all right, you just need to stop and another touchdown. And with 58 seconds left,
and now you can take the lead.
You take the lead. Flacco to Josivash finally caught one. A 9-yard touchdown. Bengals go up 42-41.
Close.
Stadium rocking, Will, when the Bengals took the lead?
Oh, yeah.
He says yes. Look at that. That's the type of insight you get. When you send the bugler on site, that's what you get.
Fans were gone.
The fans were. Did some fans leave?
It was empty.
So the Cincinnati Bengals fans left early.
You get good,
and rightfully so.
You get good old-fashioned, honest reporting from the bugler. Not like some other people out there.
Not like some other people out there. We're not going to put fake captions up there to mislead you.
This was just a crazy game from start to finish. Remember, it started with Charlie Jones housing the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Big moment for my neighbor, by the way, who it turns out I live pretty close to, I think, the assistant special teams coach or something like that. So, huge day for him.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Charlie Jones scores on a touchdown. The Bears answer with a sort of methodical offensive drive, which ends with like a Philly special touchdown, right? Caleb Williams ends the game with 2 more catches than Rome Odunze did, which is pretty crazy.
So much of this just doesn't make sense.
None of it makes any sense. The Bears had 283 rushing yards and 293 passing yards. Like, what? 283 rushing yards, and they only win the game with like a late, crazy, bounce around, tight end, rumbling touchdown.
So it's 42-41, as Will has reported here on behalf of the Bugler.
Yeah.
Bengals fans had given up. Many fans had left the stadium. They did not get to see the 14-point comeback, but 15 points late to take the lead. And maybe they were better off because with 25 seconds left. Now, look, the Bears just needed to get into field goal range, maybe to kick a game-winning field goal. But they didn't want to deal with that. 58 yards to Colston Loveland. Very similar to the Bengals giving up a 60-something yarder to Pat Freiermuth with the game on the line. The number of wide-open holes and just insanely poor tackling from the Bengals over the last few weeks. Credit Colston Loveland, though. 58-yard, an absolute strike from Caleb Williams. Probably would have put them right on the fringe of field goal range anyway.
Right. They were going for the field goal. They just
But then Loveland just
touchdown.
Runs through the defense.
Right.
58 yards for the touchdown to go up 47-42. And then they fail on the 2-point conversion. But that was it for the Bears.
Yeah, crazy play. I mean, it was an absolute dime by Caleb Williams. I mean, credit him for it was, pass up the seam into the hole, perfect play, would have put them in field goal range. Like, it's the play they wanted to get themselves in a position to win the game with a field goal. And then Jordan Battle just comes up and has a pathetic tackle attempt where he just, classic, I'm just going to hit him instead of tackling him. And you hit him and you don't take him to the ground, well, then he keeps going, and now he scored a touchdown. So, brutal play. I mean, both safeties. Like, Battle comes up and hits him instead of tackling him. Geno Stone comes up and, just sort of watches it happen in front of him, doesn't touch him at all, and then ends up trailing the play. Both safeties should have had that bottled up, and neither one of them managed to stop him.
You mentioned the 283 rushing yards for the Bears. Kyle Monangai, 26 carries for 176. Outstanding for the 7th rounder out of Rutgers. And then a couple other individual plays that I wanted to call that, little, not massive impact in a 47-42 game, but Theo Benedet, the Canadian left tackle.
Canada.
Block. I will reiterate, the Bengals' second-level defenders, their safeties and linebackers, have been atrocious this season, especially in the run game. But Theo blocked Geno Stone, I think, almost to your house in Anderson.
Nice.
All the way into the crowd on one play. And then there was a 4th and 1 earlier on. I was actually watching Odunze on the play, and right next to him. So Odunze wrecked the safety again to help set up a 4th and 1. And on that play, Darnell Wright had one of the blocks of the year. I'm sure you'll see it on social media if you haven't already. He took Shamar Stewart for a ride. It looked like it looked like Darnell Wright against a high schooler, against first rounder Shamar Stewart. Stewart was lined up over the guard. He's more of an edge type player, but he's a power player, and Darnell Wright absolutely deposited him on that 4th and 1. So it was an easy pickup for the Bears early in the game because of Adunze and Darnell Wright. So again, Bengals awful at the point of attack. They also didn't get a ton of quick pressure, and it felt like Caleb Williams was always running for his life. I know when you're watching a game, you're like, man, the offensive line's terrible. Caleb Williams is still in this weird dynamic where there's like a clean pocket, and he's like moving around and ducking. And I know the stats were great. He ended up playing a good game overall, but I'm still looking for that balance of in rhythm plays and outside of structure plays. Williams finished his 20 of 34 for 280 and 3 touchdowns, including that one to Loveland. But it was a tap pass to Zacchaeus was one of the touchdowns and everything. But he also caught one. 2 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown for Caleb Williams in this one. As you mentioned, Adunze, no catches. Just so much weird in this game. 47-42 for the Bears.
Yeah, like I said, 2 more catches than Adunze. He only had 1 fewer target than Adunze in the game. It's crazy.
And Will reminds us, too, the Bengals challenged the DJ Moore 1-yard touchdown. So this was to go up 2 scores. He gets into the end zone. It looked like it could have been a touchback. And that would have been one of those wild plays, right, where it's like you either go up 2 scores or you give the ball to the defense, and it's still a 1-score game. But they did end up calling it a touchdown.
But they called it short initially, right? Yeah. So that ended up being like the worst possible outcome of a challenge. You think they call it short.
Oh, right. That's right. They called it short.
Thinking you're going to get the turnover,
right.
And you end up actually conceding a touchdown.
Right.
So off your own challenge.
The Bengals challenged, hoping it was going to become a touchback, and they ended up saying, nope, it's a touchdown.
Your challenge turned it from a play short of the end zone into a touchdown.
Yes.
That's not great.
Man, it was wild. Will, what else? What did we miss?
We don't have time.
We don't have time. How was the heart rate throughout the game?
It was crazy. It was a true roller coaster.
Will brought his dad. Dad's a diehard Bears fan, just enjoying all the fun.
And the Bengals, by the way, have now undone all of the good work they did with that upset win at Pittsburgh, right? It's like that game, Joe Flacco balling out, saved their season. They should still be alive now, given their schedule for a while, long enough maybe that Joe Burrow coming back, like Gandalf, riding down the hill to save the day. No. Instead, they blew a game against the Jets. They had a chance in this game, didn't get it done, and suddenly they're 3-6. Their season may be done already, and they're now potentially open to trading away Trey Hendrickson, et cetera.
Yeah, and Hendrickson hasn't played in a few weeks. He's been banged up, but, is there any sense in even keeping him around other than a comp pick? When you can, like the Dolphins just did with Jalen Phillips, you could get something locked in and maybe even something higher than
and he doesn't have an owner's contract to trade away because you couldn't get anything done. So,
right.
So
something to keep an eye on here for Cincinnati, right? Like we looked at the upset win against Pittsburgh and said you have the Jets and then a winnable game against the Bears at home, and they lost both games at home for the Bengals. Congrats to the Bears, man. 5-3 and finding ways to win despite some just craziness all around. I mean, I had all these notes from the first half of the game. It's like, doesn't even matter.
Nah, it doesn't. Yeah,
it doesn't matter at all.
Junk him. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.